Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what I kind of think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's a centralized hub of everything we do Cheeky Crypto, so why not check it out? It's the first place that we let you guys know of what is going on in the industry. Okay, let's make a start here. Cardano paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is our data source, so we can see we've come down pretty well here, and we've got lots of yellow boxes on here. So let me just kind of try to explain what is going on within these ranges. Okay, so as you can kind of see, we have this kind of five-wave structured point to the downside, this kind of structure coming on down here. Now I would still expect potentially a little bit more from this. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a bounce to the upside soon, very much similar to how we did when we had this area over here scoped out, right? We saw that this was a nice area to kind of come down to. We moved on up and then we start to move on down from here. Okay, so it's pretty understandable. Now within this area we look at it as you know, a kind of like a five-wave drop, but it might not be the best way to look at it. I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's more of a WXYXZ. At the moment it looks like we're coming down towards this range between 27 and 29 cent, and you can see that we're very close to that already. Okay, so as I kind of zoom in on this, we want to try to make trying to make sense of the structure that is appearing within here. At the moment, this particular structure is it's very corrective, right? It's a lot of overlap and things like that. Specifically, when we kind of think about these areas here, we have this kind of little reset just coming up here, nothing too unusual. We move on down, we have a little bit of overlap here, go sideways. Like we are, let me just find my five-wave move. We have kind of like a leading diagonal right in here, just like that. Okay, and then we come up here in 3, and then we come back down. Okay, so we go 1 up here for 2, down here for 3, looking for 4, and then looking for 5. Okay, so it looks like we're doing something like this. Now this could be a zigzag, this could also be a little bit more sinister, okay, in the way that this can be a 53535 impulsive structure, and we've got a lot further to go. Now essentially we have got our 22.23 low point down all the way down here, and we are progressing quite nicely to it. If I take my fibs and I bring this up, we can see, if I grab this and move it over to here for example, that we haven't really reached this 1.618 just yet, so you'd have to come down much further to allow that to kind of happen. So when I look at this thing, I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of different possibilities, but we're right pretty much in the zone. So what I mean by this is that essentially dollar cost averaging now for Cardano seems to be like a pretty good idea in my opinion, right? We've come down very nicely here. We could still come down a little bit more, but essentially I'm thinking to myself that this is going to be a pretty good place to start building up a position if we haven't done so already. Now we take a look at the stochastic RSIs. Okay, the stochastic RSIs basically show us momentum to the upside or to the downside. It doesn't represent price, it just shows you whether or not people are getting exhausted from buying or selling. And we can see that the monthly is oversold, the weekly is oversold, the daily is oversold, the 8-hourly is oversold, and the 4-hourly is oversold, but not the hourly. You can see the hourly here still has some progression to the downside, i.e. we've still got a little bit more to come into this little yellow box area between that 27 and 29 cents. So like I said, it seems pretty obvious that we are getting ready for a bit of an accumulation and a bit of a swing to the upside. So like I said, you can still come down further all the way to 22.23, maybe even a fraction lower than that. But essentially now we're getting right into the end game. We're getting into a lot of structures here that are basically saying to us that we can potentially think about buying up and basically riding it up into whatever happens next, okay? Because the move to the upside after all of this could just be limited, right? It could just be a small bump like this and everything's overbought again, and then we come down. But in doing so, we've kind of, if we were to buy down here, for example, in that 29 to 27 cent, and we were to come up, we not only would we get that little additional profit there, we can always exit and then come back down and accumulate later if our data suggests that we still have further to go down. But at the moment, the data is saying this might be a really good place to be buying. So for me, that's kind of where I'm looking at it. Now, I've already got a pretty good position on Cardano's ADA, but I may be in the market for a little bit more. So we'll keep an eye on that. See, if you're in the Discord server, you'll see that we have the buy and sell signals that we do for our Patreon members. So like if I'm buying anything, they're going to know about it in the Discord server. And so I'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I've already got a pretty good position, but yeah, I do like Cardano, so maybe I'll buy some more. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that. If I come up into the 4-hourly chart here, you can see that we're in the ground in terms of the stochastic, the 8-hour also down here in the ground, the 12-hour just coming down. So it looks like we've still got a little bit more to go. On the 16-hour, still got a little bit more down to go. Okay, on the 8-hour, 20-hour, still got a little bit more. On the daily, right into the ground there. On the weekly, still got a bit more to go. Okay, so although it looks like we're getting into this position, we've still got some time here. We've probably got another couple of days or so to be thinking about our positions. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. It does look like it's getting there and good progression has been made across the board. Let me go out of there and go into our daily and bring that down. Here you can kind of see the bigger structure of things. Coming on down into here, you kind of get the idea. You can see some of the structure, right? So if we do go down to the 22.23, what that might mean afterwards, and you can see the structure coming on down quite nicely. Okay, so from a most part on our daily chart, everything is looking pretty primed and pretty good. I would actually expect another 5 waves up after this to marry up with the first 5 waves, so but that'll be bull run territory. So we might have a small wave 1 with some kind of really deep wave 2 retracement, and then another move to the upside. So for Cardano, things are looking pretty good. I'm not too concerned. If we take a look at it on the weekly standpoint, you can also see here that it's looking pretty interesting with everything that's going on, but nothing too much to kind of worry about. It's all looking very, very good, and I do think there's going to be some pretty good swing to the upside in a very I'd say immediate future, but in the future, it does look like we're getting to end of structure. And I like the end of structure because that means essentially that we're going to be moving up soon. Okay, so we're getting close. So I think that is going to be a really good place to start dollar cost averaging if we haven't done so already. I'm going to leave this video right there, guys. Hopefully you have found this useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, tap the bell, select all those notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said, done, out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.